Hello, everyone. Tanya Cordenbrock here. If you don't know me, I am a licensed professional clinical counselor, and I am the person behind a renewedlife.com/blog. I have a private online community where I help help Christian women mainly, to be able to manage their emotions, to be able to love themselves more, have healthier relationships, and to finally be able to walk in the good that they feel like God has called them to. Now, today's topic is going to be about why it is that you might be a magnet for abusive people. And I hear this from my clients sometimes, that they will say that about themselves. I hear it from other people, and this it can happen. And you can start to wonder, like, what is going on? I thought this person was okay, but now I'm realizing they are not. And I'm wondering what's going on. Is there something wrong with me? And so that kind of prompts that thought of, do I just attract this kind of person to me? So I'm going to take a look at that, about what might be going on, that you really could be attracting that kind of person, someone who is abusive or just uncaring. And then also something else that might be going on that you may not have thought of. And then lastly, I'm going to end with giving you some ideas on how you can grow out of this, work out of this, and bring some change into your life. So let's get started. First of all, I did put into my on my Facebook page a question about this, of why do you think it is you attract abusive people? And the response that I got was very common. And that was that this person said, well, it's something that I am just comfortable with. And that is absolutely part of it. And if you have come from a childhood or early adulthood where there was abuse or neglect or just craziness, chaos going on in your family due to illness, or someone just being out of control who was an alcoholic or had a drug addiction, then what the result of that is, you do become comfortable with that environment. And then when you get into those types of relationships as an adult, then you kind of just slide into them. Instead of, if you had never had that in your life, then you would be on high alert of, wait a minute, something is wrong here. I should not be treated this way, and what's going on with this person, and you would avoid them, right? So absolutely, that does happen. And I want to look at take a look at that a little deeper on what's going on. Because as a child, what happens is, in order to be able to cope with an abusive family, especially with parents who are abusive, or one parent who is abusive or neglectful, or if there's this chaos going on, then because you have no choice as a child, you can't really escape your family. You can't just say, hey, I'm done with you all, I'm just going to go live with another family. It really doesn't work. And you really love your family, you love your parents, and you want to maintain relationship with them, even though they may not be treating you so well. So part of what you do as a child then is you make up excuses, and you tell yourself, well, this isn't really so bad. Or you might say, well, I deserve what I'm getting because I am bad. Or you might even feel like, well, this is normal. This happens in all families. And that's quite common for children to believe that. And it can take you a while into your adulthood to realize, wait a minute, this didn't happen in everybody's family. So that can become a way that you cope. And then when you get into come across a person who is, not so caring or is even abusive, then you may make those same excuses as you did when you were a child. And so you allow that behavior to continue. Okay, so another thing that can happen when you're a child, because you don't really have any other way of getting your emotional needs met, there's no way you can say, hey, Dad, this really makes me feel unloved, or this really hurts me. Instead, what you learn to do then is you learn to ignore those internal signals that about pain. If you feel hurt, and you will ignore that hurt. And instead, you might turn toward being angry at yourself for even feeling the way you are. Or you may go back to that I am bad, or that I'm just being too needy here. And then when you get into relationships as an adult, that will carry into your adult life, and you will do the same thing and telling yourself, I am just too needy, or I am being selfish and wanting this person to be more caring toward me. And then also, let's see, I forgot what my third point was going to be on that. Let me check on it real quick. Okay, so you can develop ways of dealing with your emotions by you can make excuses. You learn to become passive in relationships, and instead of being able to state to the other person what you want from them, I want you to show me that you care about me. I want you to show me that I'm valuable to you and that you respect me. Instead of being able to do that, because you couldn't do that as a child, you learn to become passive and hope that change will occur. And, I'm going to tell you right now, change does not occur in relationships just with the passing of time. And it would be nice if it would, but people have to make choices to change. And you have to see changes in their behavior. It can't just be words of, oh, I didn't mean that, and oh, I want to be different. You have to look for evidence that they are taking steps to change what it is that is driving them to treat other people poorly. So just believing that, or just hoping that the other person will change, or hoping that the other person will see how they're hurting you and then they will care about that, that is highly unlikely to happen. In adult relationships, we have to be able to go to the other person and let them know what we need from them. And this is a very vulnerable thing to do. And so that's why it can be so scary for you. That's why it's easier, feels easier, seems easier to kind of just wait for someone to recognize what it is that we might be needing. But that leaves you in a place of the other person really not understanding, and then your needs won't get met. Now, there's something else that we need to be aware of here. If you are telling yourself that you are a magnet for abusive people and you're wondering what it is about you, then that is an indicator, again, that you have come from a place of abuse or neglect and chaos. And So if you grew up in a situation like that, the emotional part of your brain really had to be on guard for you as to where, if it was safe or not. And so it has become very attentive to cues in relationships that something is going wrong here. Something is not right. And this is kind of the opposite of ignoring the cues. This is instead, the emotional part of your brain is hyper alert. So that whenever there's any kind of hurt in the relationship, then this gets interpreted as this person is dangerous. This person is crazy. This person doesn't care about me. And then what your brain can do is it can trigger all kinds of automatic thoughts, such as no one will ever care for me. And the result then is that you withdraw from people and you reason that either the safest place, the safest thing to do is to just be on your own. And then when you get into another relationship, then the emotional part of your brain is going to do the same thing that it has always done. And this is understandable because this is what you know, and it feels like it is bringing safety to you. But unfortunately, even though that was what you needed as a child, it's bringing dysfunction for you. It's bringing unhappiness for you and loneliness in your adult life. So what can you do about this? Okay, and in my private online community, this is exactly what we are working on with becoming conscious of these patterns that we have. So that is where you would want to start, is become conscious of the emotions that you are feeling in a relationship, instead of just saying, well, I feel, I'm just mad or I'm frustrated. Look deeper at what the underlying emotions are and try to become aware of what is going on in your body. Definitely become aware of those automatic thoughts that are coming to you. And this will begin to change how your brain works, how the emotional part of your brain operates, and actually will change the nerve networks in your brain. You will create new proteins, new nerve cells, and new patterns will begin to develop for you, so that you can begin to take notice of any signs early in a relationship. Or you can quiet your brain when it is sending off, signals that, oh my gosh, this relationship is going to break apart, when really it's just an everyday hurt that occurs in all relationships. So I know that is, it's easy to say all that, and it really does take some work and takes time, and it will require attention on your part to these different elements. And after you become conscious of what's going on, then you want to bring change to them. And I actually have a free mini course for you where you can get started on doing this and develop that consciousness of what's going on with your emotional brain, what those automatic thoughts are that are coming to you, and become more alert to what's going on, the signals that your body is giving you as to whether it is dangerous or not, and what your emotional needs are. So that free mini email course that I have for you is called 15 Meditation Verses to Renew Self-Image. And I have a link here for you. Feel free to click on that, check it out, and would love for you to get started on that and let me know how it's working out for you. Hope you have a great day. If you have any questions or comments on this, be sure to leave those below. I am always checking my page and will get back with you with whatever, with some answers for you. Have a great day. Bye.